Recently, there have been frequent reports of gold shops being robbed or looted in mainland China. Serious crimes like gold heists, only seen in police films, have now become a regular occurrence. On October 26, a bizarre video surfaced on a Chinese social media platform. It showed a man wearing sunglasses and a mask calmly smashing the glass at a gold shop in Shanghai's Pudong district. He was carrying a plastic bag and slowly filling it with gold jewelry while the crowd watched. The video shows a large number of people gathered outside the shop, many of them holding up their phones to take pictures. But the man didn't seem to care. He kept at it without hurry. It wasn't until the police arrived that he was pinned to the ground and taken away. Some users on social media joked, "Is this a robbery or is he just playing around? He didn't even bring a knife. It's like an insult to the robbery industry." And, "Look at him, so relaxed, waiting for the police. This is the fastest way to join the system." Other users thought he had planned to get caught on purpose. Robbery starts with at least 3 years. He probably owes online loans and wants a steady meal ticket. Better to go to jail and be comfortable. His calm approach suggests he just wants to settle down and eat regularly. He probably checked the food and accommodation conditions in prisons across the country and found that Shanghai has the best. On the night of October 27th, a video claimed that a robbery took place in Guangdong. The footage showed what seemed to be a family member inside the house who had been injured and was lying on the floor. One user commented, "The world has gotten so chaotic. It's better not to show off your wealth. I don't wear gold or silver. People think I'm poor." A female blogger shared a video saying, "Not long ago, I saw a robbery at a gold store, and tonight I saw someone actually robbing someone's home. It really made my heart skip a beat. My necklace is so thin. No one would try to steal it, right?" Another video was uploaded showing the police escorting a suspect to identify the scene of a gold store robbery in Guizhou. The unsettling part was that many young people in the comments were asking, "How many years do you get for stealing gold? If there's no other way, I might just go to prison for a meal." In recent years, with the continuous worsening of the Chinese economy, robberies of gold shops have become more frequent. A jewelry store was robbed in Fuquan, Guizhou. After inventory, the staff found that all the stolen items were gold bracelets, weighing a total of 960 grams, worth more than 900,000 yuan. The manager, Mr. Li, explained that the gold bracelets were placed inside the counter. The thief used a tool to pry open the cabinet before carrying out the theft. 2 days later, the suspect was apprehended. On March 21st of this year, a 34-year-old man robbed a Chow Tai Fook jewelry store in Guangzhou. According to the video, a man wearing black clothes and carrying a black backpack used a hammer to smash the glass counter, while quickly grabbing jewelry with his other hand. Afterward, he fled the scene. Police reported that the suspect was caught and all the stolen jewelry was recovered. An eyewitness at the scene told the media that no one dared to stop the man during the robbery. A store employee shouted a few times, but upon hearing the shout, some parents who were shopping with their children quickly pulled their kids aside and hid. Many netizens in China speculated that the man involved might have lost hope in life and deliberately sought punishment. On November 28, 2024, 2 gold stores in Weifang City, Shandong were robbed. One incident occurred in Shangkou Town, where 2 men and 1 woman committed the robbery together. The 3 robbers, armed with weapons, stole jewelry and gold bars worth 10 million yuan in just a minute. The second incident happened in Changyi City, where 2 masked robbers were involved. Authorities claimed that the suspects in both cases were arrested, with the stolen goods worth a total of 800,000 yuan. On the night of October 2, 2024, a gold heist occurred in Lianjiang City, Guangdong. A man wearing a helmet entered a gold shop and committed the robbery. Eyewitnesses said the man stole 14 pounds of gold worth over 4 million yuan. The robber then escaped on a motorcycle. However, the police reported that there was no property loss, and the 37-year-old suspect, Wu Mojie, was taken into custody. One netizen remarked, "With China's surveillance system being the most expensive in the world, those robbing gold shops are either foolish or really desperate to survive." A video that was deleted by major platforms confirmed this point. In the video, a female police officer was interviewed, and when asked why some people deliberately break the glass doors of police stations in order to get arrested, she accidentally spoke the truth. He thought about it and realized life in detention was actually more comfortable. There's food and drink, and he can sleep every day, so he can go back to the detention center and live the life he wants. The young man who broke the glass told the interviewer, "I wasn't doing well outside. I had no food, no place to stay, so I thought I'd get caught." When asked why he didn't look for a job, he replied, "If I could find one, I would have. It's just that I can't find one." Netizens pointed out that this female officer said this to prove that detention centers are so good and civilized that offenders would even want to return after being released. However, this situation ended up exposing the dark side of Chinese society, which led to the video being deleted from all platforms. Even overseas platforms were pressured to remove or restrict viewing, but the video had already been widely downloaded and saved. Another person also called the police, saying that he had just committed a robbery and wanted to go in because life outside was too exhausting. In the video, a police officer asks,
"Did
you report this? What's going on?"
The man responded,
"I robbed a store, stole several bottles of alcohol."
When the officer asked the store clerk if the man had run out with the alcohol, the clerk replied no, he just left it on the counter. The man, feeling like he might not get caught, nervously kept asking the police if he would be arrested, and whether he would be sentenced to 3 or 5 years. He insisted he wasn't lying. He mentioned that he just wanted to go to prison for a few months, since he would be provided with food and accommodation, and life outside was too tough. One online user sharply criticized the situation. Real estate companies should stop building houses and focus on building more detention centers. Nearly 800,000 people were sentenced in the first half of this year, a rise of 8.5% compared to last year. The jails built for 10 or so people now squeeze in 30 to 40. Why are so many people being sentenced this year? The official unemployment rate is nearly 20%, meaning that 20 out of every 100 people are unemployed. To make money, people resort to risky ventures. They're aiding and abetting cybercrimes, organizing prostitution, and operating casinos. These have become the most common cases in detention centers. As they say, everyone's robbing, only the methods differ. In another shocking video, a property owner who bought a house for 1.28 million yuan couldn't continue his mortgage payments. It was auctioned off for 600,000 yuan. When he found out, he broke down emotionally. Court officials came to handle the situation, but he clung to the property deed, violently struggling with them. It was an intense scene. A water delivery worker was also stunned when he entered a building and saw the situation. He said, "They stopped paying. I delivered water to them a few days ago. Now the place is sealed off. This one too, it's sealed. My God, both of them are closed." A telecom sales worker shared a similar experience, saying that while going door to door offering broadband services, he found several apartments sealed off by court orders, indicating that the owners couldn't pay their loans and the property was confiscated. Everything is becoming more difficult. Analysts point out that the severity of China's economic situation this year has exceeded many people's expectations. The rising unemployment among young graduates has caused panic, and recently many students from prestigious universities have even chosen to give up their spots. On October 17th, Donghua University in Shanghai issued a notice saying that 43 new students had missed the deadline to report for enrollment and were therefore considered to have forfeited their admission. The news quickly gained attention and topped the Baidu trending list on October 27th. It was found that these 43 students came from various departments, including the College of Textile, the School of Fashion and Art Design, the School of Mechanical Engineering, and the School of Information Science and Technology. Donghua University, located in Shanghai, is directly managed by the CCP's Ministry of Education and is considered a key university in the National 211 Project and Double First Class initiative. After the announcement was made, it sparked heated discussions online. Many netizens commented, "Those who didn't show up probably went to vocational schools instead." I have a friend who graduated from this school's fashion design program, but couldn't find a job afterward. Now, when kids are choosing majors for the college entrance exam, they use this as a cautionary tale. These are all majors with poor job prospects, low pay, and tough working conditions. Everyone has realized this, and they can't fool consumers anymore. A staff member from Donghua University's admissions office told the media that after the start of the school year, counselors contacted each student who hadn't shown up to inquire about their situation. Among the 43 students, some wanted to repeat the year. Some students from Hong Kong, Macau, and Taiwan wanted to stay local, and more than 10 students were pursuing a second degree and decided to forfeit their admission after securing satisfactory jobs. Netizens lamented, "What happened to the confidence from a few years ago? Now they're contacting every single one. Tuition fees are too high. People can't afford it anymore. In the future, universities will beg students to enroll. It'll be more intense than aunties fighting for eggs." Earlier, Huang Wenhan, an education researcher from Tsinghua University, stated that the current desire for students to attend elite universities is much lower than before, with more focusing on real-world employment and life pressures. He believes that students are not lazy, but are carefully weighing the gap between education and reality. China's economic weakness and corporate downsizing are deeply influencing young people's choices. For middle-aged people with families and children, life is even harder. On October 21st, a netizen reported the death of a truck driver, Mr. Yu. Mr. Yu, hailing from Heilongjiang, died in a highway service area in Guizhou. His wife, Ms. Tan, told Chinese media that on the morning of October 18th, around 9 a.m., she wasn't able to reach her husband, and within the hour, his phone was off and he wasn't responding to WeChat. Feeling something was wrong, she contacted the 4S store where they had bought the truck. The staff used the truck's GPS location and found it at the Qilinglong service area in Guizhou. Then they called the police for help. Soon after, Ms. Tan received a call from the police, informing her that they had found Mr. Yu's truck. Medical personnel arrived and found Mr. Yu in a deep coma. He was later declared dead. When the tragic news arrived, Ms. Tan collapsed to the ground. She couldn't accept the reality. The man she had just spoken to yesterday was now gone. The police reviewed surveillance footage from the service area, reconstructing the last hours of Mr. Yu's life. This information nearly drove Ms. Tan to the brink of collapse. The footage showed Mr. Yu briefly getting out of the truck after entering the service area. But around 5 a.m. on the 18th, he returned to the driver's seat and didn't exit the truck again until the police arrived. The Qilinglong County Police and the health center issued a death certificate, stating that Mr. Yu, aged 45, died suddenly, cause unknown. Ms. Tan explained that she works in a school cafeteria. Their daughter is in the final year of high school, and Mr. Yu had bought the truck in June with a loan, paying a down payment of over 20,000 yuan. He had been driving the truck for 4 months, but only came home twice. Their daughter was about to attend university, and had never expected that her father would suddenly pass away. Ms. Tan choked up as she said, "He was always in good health, never stayed at the hospital. This time, he was just too tired." Similar incidents of long-haul truck drivers suddenly dying have occurred in the past. Netizens expressed their sympathy. "It's so heartbreaking. It seems like every 2 months we hear news of truck drivers dying on the road. Driving a truck is exhausting. You often have to stay up late. He bought the truck on a loan to earn money for his daughter's university tuition. In 4 months, he only came home twice. This time, he can finally rest." For middle-aged people at the bottom of society, is there any way out besides working themselves to death? What happens if they lose their jobs? That's a whole different story. In a video, a man who had been unemployed went fishing in the afternoon and caught 2 fish, planning to cook them for dinner. He was about to head home when he overheard his wife saying, "When are you going to look for a job? You spent the whole afternoon fishing and only caught 2 fish. Don't you even think about going back to work?"
Aren't these 2 big enough? I'll make sure you have enough for dinner.
His wife angrily responded, "I don't care about the fish. I want you to make money. You're just playing around all the time. We haven't saved a single penny. Do you know that my friend's husband makes over 30,000 a month? Why don't you compare yourself to him? You just hang out with your useless friends and go fishing." Faced with an economic downturn, the public has been lying flat, while the Chinese authorities have tried every method to encourage spending, but with little success. On October 27th, during the 2025 Financial Street Forum held in Beijing, People's Bank of China Governor Pan Gongsheng announced that policies to support personal credit repair would be researched. This sparked mockery from various sectors. According to reports from mainland media, under the CCP's credit reporting industry management regulations, default records remain for 5 years in the credit system. Due to the pandemic and other uncontrollable factors, some individuals have defaulted on debts, and although they repay the loans in full later, their credit records continue to affect their financial life. To help people repair their credit faster, the People's Bank of China is considering a one-time personal credit relief policy. Under this plan, default records related to amounts below a certain threshold, which have already been repaid since the pandemic, will not be displayed in the credit reporting system. This measure is expected to be implemented early next year. Some netizens commented, "In simple terms, a group of people who dare to take out loans for consumption and investment have become blacklisted, and now they just want to encourage more loans." Other users analyzed that for those who have just repaid their debts, their risk tolerance would significantly decrease, and they won't be likely to borrow again. The key issue is that if there are too many people with poor credit, it will affect the authority of default records. As people often say, 1 or 2 individuals might be seen as defaulters, but what if it's thousands? Therefore, this policy essentially encourages those who are capable of repaying their loans to do so more quickly. The ultimate goal is to allow financial institutions to recover. Senior market capital expert Xu Zhen commented that this policy is about making ordinary people take on more debt and leverage it to save the CCP's economy, but it won't have much of an impact on driving consumption. Some entities may need to use this money, for example, to take out new loans to pay off old ones, because the interest rates are lower. There's also the issue of robbing Peter to pay Paul. The money won't be invested in the consumer market to boost the economy. It'll stay in the financial system. Many households already have high levels of debt, and unless it's an absolute necessity, they won't borrow. Some analysts point out the irony of the situation, a government that lacks credit discussing credit. While we don't encourage young people to risk going to prison, building more detention centers may actually be necessary. This trend may be unavoidable.